Today we are back in the shop and we are back on the Nova project. Today's goal is to get this thing on the ground. And in order to do that, I've got to lock down the motor plate. First things first, I want to get some of this hot side off, at least, if not all of it. Get that motor plate in place, then we'll get the wheels on, then we'll set this thing on the ground. Then I'll be super happy.
I'll take my gal to dance.
Knife. That's not a knife. That's a knife. D&J. Shout out them guys.
The desert shore is hot and we've been working through the day. I pray I get back to my loving lady today. Rifle in my hand and some brothers to my side. I can't hardly wait.
Gotten a lot of this trimmed. Man, that does throw a lot of sparks over, doesn't it? See, that's why we cover this stuff up, at least the important stuff. So I've gotten it trimmed so that way the motor plate can kind of slide right into this little notch that I've made. So that way I can just make a mount against the frame. But, well, there's a couple problems, but the main one being our exhaust, right? So we're gonna have to lop these corners off, which I absolutely hate using the, what is that even called? The wood saw, power saw? It's not a band saw. Circular saw, there we go. See, too many hours in the tank here. But I'm gonna have to, I just don't know that I want to, if I wanna do any kind of design or fanciness. I really don't care about design or fanciness at this point. I just know that this motor plate is going to get cut into a lot because we're going to have to drill a hole for the steering.
One day we'll make it through all this barely getting by. I'm taking out my woman and we're dancing barefoot tonight. Quitting time's on my mind, but Skydives are on my heart. I've been sweating for my wages, but she'll cool me after dark. How she'll cool me after dark. Oh, she'll cool me after dark.
Oh, for a couple words I can't say shy of being real. Trimming would be nice. Well, after what seemed like forever cutting and grinding and doing all that, Brandon and I put our heads together. If we assemble this in this way, how are we going to take the motor out with the motor plate still on? Because that happens a lot. We're going to need to be able to come forward far enough to clear those bolts for the control arms and then go up. So it is a tight fit. There's not a lot of room. There ain't a lot of wiggle room to be had there. But we can do that. It sucks, but you got to do these things like when you're putting it together because you got to think about the future and what if I got to do this or that or whatever. So build it in a way that makes it easier on yourself down the road. If I didn't take the time to do this, future me would really curse current me. And, you know, we're not in a rush. It's January. Man, I'm covered in this stuff. So it's not like there's going to be a ton of racing going on anyway. Plus, I got like 2 weeks of travel for work. Actually, we will be on sick week. We won't be competing. I won't be racing or anything. But Brandon and I will be on sick week for work. We've got a few customers and influencers and stuff between the different companies that I work with, and that we're going to go out there and follow and try to, you know, support. So I don't even know where I was going with that. Spend the time now, get it right, get it as close to right as we can. So now I got to decide, either do I want to do a long bolt with spacers, or do I want to cut this off and then stick something behind it, put a mount back there. Maybe I'll do, maybe we'll do a combination deal where I put it on the back side here, and then front side top we'll do long bolt with a spacer. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna weld in some tabs and we'll be on the ground tonight. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that went exactly to plan. Back to work we go. I need this thing to work. That's not going anywhere. That's not going anywhere either. Let's drill some holes, baby. Waited so long for this moment. I would just like to thank myself for my dedication, and myself for buying these parts. Safety strap, no mo. Look at that travel, baby. Holy shit. First of all, can we just take a moment to appreciate the absolute metric crap ton of travel that is there? I can't even go up with this anymore because that jack is maxed out, but oh man, look at that. Look at that, baby. Whoo. Yeah. Oh man. Actually, I thought it was gonna sit really ridiculously tall. It settled down quite a bit. That's dope. Motor plate. Look at that. That alignment is gonna be something, for sure. So your limiting factor, right? Well, one of your limiting factors can be how far your shock can extend. So they've only got a limited range of motion, right? They can only extend so far. So right now, we've got 2 to 3 inches of shock showing there, which means that we can still go down a little bit there. But the main motion of travel, which is going to be the extension, which is going to be the long travel, is there's plenty of room for that. So this is dope, dude. This is like, did you think this Blue Nova would end up like this? And we had to push this thing out of a damn field. I love how many people, like, somebody asked me, they were like, was that like scripted? Was that for the video? I was like, no, we had to push this thing out of a field. It was freaking horrendous. Right, like somebody that should have known better. Right. Like, man, like, no, we legitimately had to push this thing out of a field. Like, it was that kind of a party. Motor plate, nice placement. I mean, that thing looks good. Let me take a look at it from get the angle of the dangle. I kind of want to put the turbo kit back on just to see how it'll all look. I mean, obviously you guys see what one of the big issues we're going to have here with so much travel, you know. So I did put a couple of shims in there, just shims that I had laying around just to kind of help straighten it out. Now the nice thing about these TRZ control arms, even though it'll be a total pain, I feel like, to do this, these are Heim joints here, so we can go ahead and unscrew that, take this all apart, and then work those Heim joints in and kind of suck all that in. And I still got to redo brake line, I still got to do steering, but now that the motor plate is in place, I can figure out where my steering is going to go, because I'm thinking I was going to run it down the frame to the little holder there and then kick it out this way. So I've got the bar cut for that, pretty much where that's ready to go. I can figure out, you know, where my next cut is going to be and trim down there. That's all going to miss all the turbo kit. This is cool. How do I look, though? How do I look? There is a fair amount of work that needs to be done here, but
Getting closer.
right, every day we're just chipping away at it. Like, I cannot wait to fire this thing up and do hood rat shit. This is gonna be a street monster, my friend. Let's just pick a point and we will see if we can figure out how much travel this thing has. 1 foot. That makes life pretty easy. Every inch above a foot is... That's about maxing that jack stand almost out. And I can tell you already, we're at just under 19. So it's just under 7 inches. And we're still quite a ways away getting that tire off the ground. So I'm figuring we're gonna have probably at least 7 to 8 inches of travel here pretty easily without much effort. So shout out Nicky Bobby, TRZ, Alden suspension. We got the coilovers on there. I have a set of coilovers for the rear too, so we can really have some fine adjustment there. This is dope. This gets me excited again. Big thing here is, you know, a little 332 cubic inch motor is gonna need a lot of boost. You know, we're gonna need to start messing around with 30 plus pounds. I mean, I know folks that are doing 40, 50 pretty regularly. Like now at this point, we can throw the front end back on and start figuring out, okay, where is this exhaust gonna come out? Are we gonna do it that way? You know, where do I want the waste gates to dump out? All that kind of stuff. So, hell yeah. Another day down, another step closer to the finish line.